Hello and welcome to the sewing studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty Easter wreath. Now I've made mine with a little hanging on it, but you could make it as a centre for your table. So imagine a nice glass dish full of little eggs in there as a table centre, or you could put a candle there. So there's lots of things you can do with it, but I quite like mine as a hanging. So I'm going to show you how we make this. So first of all, you need a wire ring. So this one is slightly smaller. The ring I'm using this time is bigger than this one. And all you do is you cover it with fabric. So this green fabric here is what I'm going to cover it with. So you can be quite rough with this. You don't have to be all fancy with your cutting. So you cut some strips. As you can see, this is obviously an odd bit. I've used a piece for something. Great way for using up scraps. And you start by winding this round your ring. So what I do is I put a tiny blob of glue just to hold this. So this high-tack glue is really good for fabrics and it dries clear. That's what I like about it. So I'm just going to stick that down there like that. So that starts us off. And then the next thing I do is I just fold the raw edge in and I wind this around. So just fold the raw edge under, so you can see what I'm doing there, and wind it around. And I continue doing that until the whole ring is covered with the green fabric. So this is probably going to take about 3 of these strips to do this. So I just overlap this raw edge here with a folded edge. It takes a little while, but it saves you tacking or turning the edge in before you start. So just take your time and wind that round like that until you've got the whole ring covered. So once you've got the whole ring covered, we're then going to make some flowers which we attach to the ring. So you can see I've got a flower here which has been made using 3 circles of fabric and a button, and in a minute I'm going to show you how to do that. So then what we do when we've got all our flowers made is we glue them onto this fabric, as I've done here with this one. These have all been glued on. So I'm going to show you how to make some of these flowers. So if we want to make these circles, you take a circle of fabric. Now I'm going to make the small one today, and this is about a 3-inch circle. So I'm going to put a knot in the end of my thread, and I'm just going to do a little tacking stitch all the way round. So just a little running stitch like this all the way round the edge. So as I say, the smallest one here starts off about a 3-inch circle, and then if you just make each one fractionally bigger, so the next one probably a 5, and the next one a 6 or 7. It's just a case of having a play around with it till you get the size that you want. And then you pull your 2 threads together. Just make sure I've got the other one. Pull your 2 threads up so it all ruches up, and then tie a knot in it so it doesn't come undone. Like that. So you can see that that's like this top one here, and then I sewed a button on the very top one, and then you can sew that all the way through. Alternatively, you can glue them. So you'd make one a bit bigger and then another one. And you would use pastel shades. So what I've used here is grunge. This is perfect, these pastel shades of grunge. We've also got some of this floral fabric with the flowers on. And so anything that's pastel or flowery is perfect. So that's how you make the circles for this one. I'm now going to show you how to make the petals for these ones. Again, it's a circle, but whatever size you want. So this one today, I'm using a 3-inch circle. Some of them I've used a slightly bigger circle, for example, the purple one. And what you do is you take your circle and you fold it in half and in half again. And then you run a tacking stitch, and you can see I've already got one on my thread, so I've knotted the end. And you do this with 5 circles. So it's always good to have an odd number. So do it with 5 circles, run your tacking stitch along the bottom. And then I form a circle with my petals, and very gently I pull them together. I'll take my 2 pieces of thread and hold them tight and pull. So we've also got another tutorial on how to make fabric flowers in a bit more detail, and the link for that will be in the description below. So when I'm happy that I've pulled these tight, just need to be careful I don't break the thread. I've done that many times, and that's very frustrating. And then you just pull them around till you get the shape that you want. Let's just snip that off. So you just pull that petal around till you get the shape you want. So you can pop a little felt disc on the back, and then you can put a button in the middle, or you can do a centre as I've done here, where I've just put another little piece of fabric in the centre. So I've done that in a couple of them. And then in these, I've just made some random flowers out of felt, and this is just a heart shape of felt, 5 little heart shapes. And again, you just join them all up. So you can do as many or as few as you want. You can make this as big or as small as you want. These rings come in 3 different sizes. And literally, once you've got your ring covered, you put a blob of glue on the back. And you just leave them, glue them in place. So I'd probably do one of those. And I'd do one of those. I'd have a button on that, of course. And you just go round until you're happy with how you've got them all laid out. So a perfect little Easter wreath. So as always, have fun, make it your own, and I look forward to seeing you next time here in the sewing studio.